The 1990s are regarded as some of the best years in footballing history, with the Serie A being the best league in the world, with Manchester United having the class of 92 and coming into their dominance, or Blackburn winning the Premier League, which has just been created as we start this 94-95 database, which has been brought out by the mad scientist and all the face packs and mods, etc. from Mr. Tinny. So a massive shout out to them. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you exactly how to download this database. I'll be going through the top 10 saves you need to try on the 94-95 database and running through some of the fantastic players like Eric Cantona and Diego Maradona. So without further ado, let's go. First up is the two ways you can download this database. Number one is by heading to Steam, heading to your Football Manager library, heading to the workshop, and simply scrolling down to the 94-95 database and subscribing. It will be in your games folder and will work straight away. Very easily done. Or you can head to FM Scout, head to add-ons, head to databases, scroll yourself down till you find the 1994-95 database, which of course I have gone past already. Click on that one and do the either direct download, or it will take you direct to the Steam Workshop if you click this. And this again will be a game save folder. So if you want to put this in, you simply go to games, you put it in Sports Interactive Documents, Football Manager 2024 games, and there'll be a 94-95 database game there to load, exactly like this, 94-94 DB day one. You load up, it will create your manager, and you get to go in and play the save straight away. Now with this method, you don't have the regens, and the method is sort of a little bit flawed because you don't have the full realism. Of course, you have the full database as we have with everything from 94-95, but as soon as you get to 95-96, you're no longer going to get regens come through, and whereas the way I'm going to show you next, you get all the new wonder kits come up, like Thierry Henry when he becomes one, Ronaldo, Messi, Wayne Rooney, etc. So if you want to know how to do that one, the best thing I can say by far is heading to the Mr. Tinny 23 YouTube channel. You can see I've already part watched this video to get to the point where I actually know how to do this and how I've done it myself. He goes through exactly how to download the mod, how to extract the mod, how to do the retro regens installation, and then you go through create the save, etc. So you need to watch about 5 minutes of the video. What I will say is obviously there is a lot of work that has gone into this database, and it is behind a paywall to get the regens and the mod packs, etc. So if you do not want to use a paywall, you have to use the version when there's no regens. But if you do want to pay, I believe it's £7, you can get a game which is basically a fully revamped version of Football Manager 2024 where you can play in 1995. And just to show you what you do get for signing up to Mr. Tinny's Patreon. Again, I hope he doesn't mind me promoting his Patreon. I'm sure he won't. You get all the sort of face packs and everything like that, and of course the regens, etc. This is a little bit of a sneak peek behind the scenes preview, a Manchester United Can We Beat Sir Alex Ferguson video I'm going to be doing, where I've signed Alan Shearer, for example, up front. A fantastic 94-95 database with the picture on him. You've got a 94-95 David Beckham here as a young right midfielder, which is fantastic. The midfielders coming through, and then the regen mods gives you players in the under 18s that will come up through the academy like they did in real life. So like checking out some of the best ones that have come through so far. Danny Gabardon is one, for example, at 15 years of age that has come through at West Bromwich Albion. He's come through as a completely standard regen, which is absolutely awesome. And as mentioned, when we get to like 2001, Cristiano Ronaldo will come through, 2002, Lionel Messi will come through. I don't know the exact years, but I'm guessing around there. Them sort of wonder kids will come through, which is fantastic. And I mean, you get loads come through. It is absolutely fantastic. And I've got to say, I've had so much fun on the database. You can see all the sort of badges for the leagues. Like the FA Carding Premiership has the old school badge up there, which is awesome. The teams like Wimbledon are here, Arsenal with their old retro badge. It is absolutely fantastic, and I actually really would recommend doing it so you have the full experience rather than just the game save file, because it does make a massive difference to have all these extra modifications in. But on to the saves that I have for you guys. I've got 10 ideas which you guys can pick up on, and let me know how you get on in the comments down below if you do take any of them on. Now, number one is the Blackburn Challenge. Now, in the year 1994-95, Blackburn managed to win the Premier League against all odds with the legend Alan Shearer up front. And I mean, the team itself is fairly decent. Shearer and Cristiano up front was a deadly partnership. You'll go with Blackburn, win the Premier League like they did in real life, but keep hold of Alan Shearer. And can you do what Sir Alex Ferguson done with Manchester United and build an absolute dynasty and make Blackburn the best team in the Premier League? For number two, we're going to head over to Holland and look at Ajax. Now, this year, Ajax won the Champions League, the last time in their history that they won it. And looking at the team, you can kind of understand why. If we sort this by position, there's not a position which isn't unbelievable. Van der Sar, Danny Blind, Frank de Boer, Frank Rijkaard, Edgar Davids, Ronald de Boer, Mark Overmars, Clarence Seedorf, Nwankanu Kanu, Patrick Kluivert, Jari Litmanen. The team is an absolute joke. Can you take Ajax to win the Eredivisie, win the Champions League, and a special goal? Can you make the Eredivisie the best league in the world and overtake the likes of England, the Bundesliga, the French League, and the Italian League to make the Eredivisie the top tier in the world? And if you want to do that exact challenge, but you don't want to use Ajax for save number 3, do PSV Eindhoven. And the reason I say that, they've got a very special striker on their hands, a 17-year-old Ronaldo. This is the dream to have as a new manager. Coming into a club, a 17-year-old striker with 16 finishing, ridiculous flair, ridiculous physical stats, and of course, he's got the potential to be the best player the world has ever seen. Can you harness Ronaldo's talent and make PSV the champions of the world, winning the Champions League, overtaking Ajax, and then make the Eredivisie the best league in the world? For save number 4, we are going to head back to England and we're going to go to Wimbledon, a club that in 2004 came under hard times and were liquidated, hence the birth of MK Dons. And Wimbledon went all the way down to leave the 10th tier in England and have now worked their way back up to the 4th tier. But in 1994-95, they had come under a streak where they were known as the Crazy Gang. They had players of high aggression, they were absolutely mental, and I want you to rebuild Wimbledon only signing players with 18 and over aggression. If you need to drop that to 16, drop it to 16. But make a team of absolute nutters and win the Premier League with Wimbledon while making the Crazy Gang back together. For save number 5, I don't have a team. I have a league. Go to the Serie A and go through any team you could potentially want to manage and tell me why there's not a good reason. We could go to AC Milan, where we got to the final of the Champions League this season with a team of Marco van Basten, with a team of Ruud Gullit, Paolo Di Canio, Maldini, Franco Baresi. You could do Milan. You could also head to AS Roma, where I'm sure they've got some legends as well in the team. We've got a 17-year-old Francesco Totti to build around. We could head down to Fiorentina with my all-time favourite striker, Gabriel Batistuta up front, and you can make Fiorentina the best team. Can you keep Parma from getting relegated in future seasons and make them one of the best teams ever with Gianfranco Zola and Thomas Brolin up front? We could head to Juventus and look at a simply ridiculous team with Gianluca Vialli and Del Piero up front, with Roberto Baggio, Didier Deschamps, Antonio Conte as a manager, and a fantastic defence. Or finally, go to Inter Milan and build a dynasty with Dennis Bergkamp and the rest of the Italian stallions at Inter Milan, who are predicted to come 4th in the league. The league is so tight. The season preview is AC Milan, Juventus, Lazio, who I've not even touched on. I believe they've got a certain someone in the team, Paul Gascoigne, sitting in central midfield. I mean, you could use Gazza at Lazio. Is that not just absolutely incredible? The league is stacked top to bottom. Go to Serie A, make a dynasty. It will be so fun because the league is just so tight. For my 6th save option, we head to Spain and to Deportivo La Coruña, who in the 1993-94 season missed out on lifting the La Liga trophy thanks to a missed penalty in the final game of the season. Can you make them champions of Spain in 1995 and rewrite the wrongs of 1994? And can you go in to the Spanish league, which is already starting to be dominated by Real Madrid and Barcelona? As we can see, from 1984 onwards, it was a little bit ropes. And it hasn't changed since then either. Can you go in, upset the apple cart, and make it a Spanish Big Three? In the 1990s, there was a spell of player managers. And for save number 7, I want to make yourself Brian Robson and be a player manager at Middlesbrough, just like he did in real life. Now, they won the league in this season with Brian Robson managing the side and being a manager. I want you to do the exact same. I want you to create yourself as Brian Robson, use him in the midfield as a player manager, and have some unbelievable fun with Middlesbrough. For save number 8, I give you 2 options once again. Number 1 is heading to Chelsea, who are a predicted to finish 12th side with some absolute legends in the club like Dennis Wise. Or Manchester City, who are predicted to come 17th. Can you go to two of the biggest clubs in the Premier League and make them the best teams in the league the right way? Before the money, before Abramovich and before the Man City takeover, can you take them over and make them Premier League dominance while bringing through youth and doing good things like Manchester United rather than sports washing and ruining football? For save option number 9, we head to the international stage and to the old Wembley, where I want you to take England to World Cup glory. We know how heartbreaking it was in the 90s for England, with Gaza missing out on lifting a trophy. And I mean, throughout the whole of the 2000 and 2010s, England should have done much better at the international stage, but just didn't. And if you do use the regen pack and you get the likes of Scholes, Gerrard, Lampard in the midfield, make them all tick, make it wonderful, and bring home some World Cups to England. And for the 10th and final, it is the save that I'm going to be doing and releasing on the channel in the next couple of days, is the Manchester United beating Fergie challenge. Now, Sir Alex Ferguson had 13 Premier Leagues, 5 FA Cups, 4 League Cups, and 2 Champions Leagues in his time at Manchester United. And he only had like a 6-year spell on you up until 1995, but he's built you a pretty decent side to kick things off in a lovely 4-2-4 formation with the likes of Eric Cantona, Mark Hughes, Ryan Giggs, Paul Ince, Nicky Butt, Roy Keane, and in the under-21s and under-18, you've got the likes of Phil Neville, Gary Neville, and there's a certain Paul Scholes and David Beckham down here as well. Can over the next 19 seasons beat the amount of trophies Fergie's won? Can you win 13 league titles in 19 years? Can you win 5 FA Cups, 4 League Cups, and more than 2 Champions Leagues? You've got 19 seasons to do it. Can you beat Fergie's record? And then finally, I think it's only right that we look through some of the best players in this database that you guys can go and sign. We'll start off with Romario, a 28-year-old striker at Barcelona who looks like an absolute joke, a 189 current ability and a good potential as well. Baggio is here at Juventus, being an absolute joke. Paolo Maldini at AC Milan. You've got Marco van Basten, who is just the best striker to ever grace the earth, isn't he? Without the injuries, could he have won more Ballon d'Ors? Of course he could have. 20 finishing, 18 composure, electric pace. Marco van Basten is someone that I'm certainly looking forward to using in this database. And a 33-year-old Diego Maradona as well, as a free agent, is someone that I am also certainly looking to use on here. You've got Georgie Hadji, my favourite striker of all time, Gabriel Batistuta as well. In terms of potential, you've got yourself R9, who we've looked at already, who is an absolute joke. A 22-year-old Zinedine Zidane, who is playing for Bordeaux in the French League, who are an honourable mention to bring through, to be fair, in this save. Can you make Bordeaux a fantastic side with Zidane at the helm? You've got a 16-year-old Gianluigi Buffon, who is an absolute joke in the Parma Youth Academy. Obviously, Alessandro Del Piero, a 16-year-old version of Thierry Henry and Monaco, looking very happy for himself there. Francesco Totti at 17, looking unbelievably good at just 17. Raul, the Prince of Goals at Real Madrid. You've got Andrei Shevchenko. You've got Alessandro Nesta. Even the older players like Lothar Matthäus, Franco Baresi. You've got Lilian Thuram here, Michael Laudrup, Marcel Desailly, Frank Lampard Jr. at West Ham United could be very fun. You've got Batistuta, Patrick Kluivert, Figo, 15 years of age, Rio Ferdinand at West Ham, and of course, Nicolas Anelka at PSG as well. Some amazing young players, some amazing older players. This database really is littered with talent throughout. And I have to say, it is the most fun I've had playing Football Manager in quite a long time, heading back to the 95 database. If you do want to pick it up, like I said, you can do the free version where you don't get any of the regens, but you do get everything else you see here with the players. All of them will be in there, and the rules, etc., will all be correct. But you won't get the face packs and the badge packs. If you do want to get that, Mr. Team's Patreon will be linked down below. It's the best place to go for it. And if you want to show how to install that as well, his video is also the best way to do that. I'll also make sure to put that in the description down below. As I said, 94-95 database. They'll be seeing some videos come from the channel soon. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, and I'll speak to you next time.